Here's an idea. The hate that you're actually receiving because of being a pro or anti-Gamergate person isn't because you're pro or anti-Gamergate, but because the internet is actually full of hate. You see, recently, PBS Idea Channel's Mike came out and said that if actually supporting Gamergate is a condition of you continuing watching my show, I've got bad news for you. Basically, he came out and said that he doesn't support Gamergate because of all the hatred that's going on social media due to, quote-unquote, due to Gamergate. No, big air quotes. Due to Gamergate. So, did Gamergate exist in 2009? I ask you that. Does Gamergate... No, it didn't. You didn't even have to answer that. I can answer it for you. No, it didn't. Because, you see, feminists have been getting hatred probably since then, and probably even before then. But 2009 is when FemFreak was actually made a channel. And I'm sure, ever since she's been putting up feminist videos, she's been receiving hate for them. Why? Because feminism is a polarizing ideal. So is whether or not Link should be a boy or not, apparently. So is whether or not Wolverine can beat up Lobo. You see, that's the problem. Any idea can be polarized that way by people who are anonymous and have no fear of repercussions. It's very simple. Any issue can become that polarized. If you can simply throw hate out there and no one ever catches you on it and no one ever punishes you for it, you will continue to do that because, oh, it feels good to type that nasty thing and really just vent that anger. That is what the problem is. No accountability. None. None. If I report a Twitter today, they'll have another one by tomorrow. If I report a YouTube channel today, they'll have another one by tomorrow. If I report their email, they'll have another one by tomorrow. They can just keep coming back over and over again. The hate can keep going and going. Let me tell you a personal story. When I worked with Ken Burton, guess what? Ken Burton and I were trying to push out an anti-bullying. All of us actually were. All the crew was trying to push out anti-bullying efforts and whatnot. And we received hate for that. Hate for wanting to protect people. I mean, aren't we all for a better world? For improving everything? Apparently not, because people were saying, well, bullying's fine. It's not a big issue. Cyberbullying isn't a big issue. It doesn't hurt anybody. Like, guys, come on. Seriously. You can't... in this video, they talk about logical fallacies. Logical fallacies of black and white. Logical fallacies of straw man arguments. Putting up saying that I won't support something because these people are hating on it, even though that hate was there prior to all of the Gamergate stuff. It was there prior to. The police said that they've received similar death threats like the USU before. And the fact is, if you actually read it, it reads like a goddamn form letter that an auto mailer is sending out to every feminist event. Really. There was nothing specifically about what Anita does. It was just that feminism has ruined all aspects of all culture. But it doesn't say that she's coming by gaming's talk. It doesn't mention anything by her by name, outside of a name that could be easily just swapped in with Brianna Wu, or Zoe Quinn, or anyone else. And I'm not saying death threats are right. I'm sorry that Zoe Quinn, I'm sorry that Brianna Wu, and I'm sorry that Anita Sarkeesian all received death threats. I'm also sorry that Boogie's wife received a death threat. I'm sorry that Total Biscuit received a death threat. I'm sorry if you've received death threats. I'm sorry if anyone has received death threats. But you can't just say, because these haters exist, the discussion must die. You can't say, because these haters exist, on both sides, might I add, that both sides are wrong. You can't do that. That's the biggest logical fallacy of your argument, Mike. Right there. In black and white. You want to be the Idea Channel guy, you want to spark discussion, but then you want to shut down discussion when you decide that the other side is wrong. And not because they have no point. You even mention the points that Gamergate is really about in passing, like most media websites have done. But instead of doing your homework, and you said you're not going to do homework because no amount of homework can prove this as being a reason to support anything, you're automatically dismissing, which is another big thing the anti-Gamergate side does, you're automatically dismissing everything that's being said with no discussion, simply so that you can have your comfortable worldview reassured by everyone around you, with no one challenging the fact that the only reason you're making these assumptions is because you don't want to go out there in the field and talk to the other side. You don't want to come speak to anyone and really talk to someone who's actually a pro-Gamergate supporter. Come talk to me, Mike. I'm not saying you need to do it publicly. You can email me. You can find my email. It's not hard to. Email me. Send me an email. We can have a private conversation. I can explain to you everything about Gamergate. Talk to Total Biscuit. If you don't want to talk to a little internet nobody like me, because I might be trying to get famous off of this, which I've seen so many times, it's stupid. Go talk to Total Biscuit. He's already famous. He'll be more than happy to tell you exactly what's going on. More than happy. That's the thing. We just want people to listen to this side of the story instead of simply spinning the narrative to be all about feminism, which I could give 2 fucks about. I think, honestly, my opinion of Anita's work is as derivative. It already exists in the tropes websites all over the place. It's already been discussed to death in other media. It exists it exists in every damn media. And now there's new tropes coming out the exact opposite spin that are going to come into gaming too. It's just the way it is. It's lazy writing. It's easy shorthand. It's easy ways of getting the reader's investment, or the player's investment, or the viewer's investment. That's why vampires are always somewhat sexy, but also dangerous. The reality is it's a predator. It should be treated like an animal. If you really want to get down to base facts, but it's always treated sexy because that makes it more, scintillating. That's just there are so many tropes about everything. Everything has tropes that are easy and bite-sized to take in there. Is there discrimination in games? Not as much as there has been, and there's a lot more openness. But again, that's not what Gamergate's about. Gamergate is not about that. That has nothing to do with it. Yes, was it inciting incident Zoe Quinn's affair? Yeah, because suddenly there was this door opened in this wall that's been up around gaming journalism forever, that you begin seeing that there might be collusion going on. And this has happened before. And occasionally gaming media will catch it, and occasionally be a YouTuber or someone independent that catches it. And that's what we hate, is that we try and have this discussion, and we might have a small one, but then the door's shut again. Again, you guys all get clustered together. That wall seems to just come around it. And I understand why. I get the concept that you must have a good relationship with the publishers to be able to get those exclusive reviews, to be able to do your job, to be able to, I scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of thing, because it's not like they have to tell you anything about this. It's all about marketing and spin for the gaming industry, because it's not really news. It's opinion pieces and reviews and promotional materials. I get that. I get that that's the primary focus of what media used to be about when you had Nintendo Power, and you had the official PlayStation magazine, and you had oh god, I forget what the Xbox one was, but it used to be they all had their own magazine. And then that went away because magazines were kind of a dead thing. And then the internet had these people that were passionate about games and really wanted their stories to matter and be important and have a message and be pro-consumer. And then they got famous. And then they started having this interaction with all the game publishers. And then they started getting more corrupt. And then you had these independent people coming in that really didn't do much with games, but it got this relationship going. And we're seeing all this bonus coming in from doing gaming coverage. And suddenly now you have people that care more about the clickbait and the views than you do about anything else. And that was always my feeling about Gamergate. And the reason I made the video that Gamergate's hashtag must die is because I thought like you. I looked at the other side and said, you know what? They've stained the tag. They've stained the tag beyond reasoning. But then I saw the assassination piece, the hit pieces coming out from every major media outlet. Then I saw the collusion list that came out. And then I saw like all of this stuff coming out, like journalists actually coming out of the woodwork, walking away from their jobs in some cases since I re-upped with the tag. Because they feel that gaming journalism has gone too far. You see, we had the one small, honest point of journalism in all journalism these days. Because all journalism has gone this way. All journalism is about spin. All journalism is about fear-mongering. All journalism is about sensationalism. And we're getting tired of that. As a society, we're getting tired of that. And what we really want is some honesty, some genuineness. So you know what, Mike? If you really want to be an idea channel guy, if you really want to have ideas and put them out there, you must be willing to challenge your own ideas as well. You must not be dismissive of everyone and say, I am not going to do any more research. No amount of research will make me support this cause. You know what that's saying? That's saying, fuck you to anyone who supports it. That's what that's saying. It's saying, I don't care that you have good people trying to support this. Fuck you all. I'm siding with the guys that are doing the same kind of attacks without even thinking. Without even thinking. All these people that are saying death threats to you, I side with them because I'm anti-Gamergate. The best thing you could have done in that video, if you really wanted to stay out of all that, was to simply say, I side with neither side. I side with there being ethics, and I side with there being a discussion about those ethics. That's what Game Show did. I haven't seen if they've done anything since, but Game Show just did a video about ethics and left it at that. I don't know if they've said anything since, pro or anti-Gamergate, but it made more sense. It made more sense because, honestly, that's what we want. For it to be about ethics and to drop both sides of the overly vocal, overly attention-whored, overly stressed extremist sides that are hurling insults over the heads of all the honest gamers in the middle. So, please, think about that for next time.